Hey YouTube, Leroy Green 85, this one's for you, brother. So, it's a badass look. I got this Dean cigar here. I don't advocate smoking, by the way, and I don't smoke much, but it seemed proper for this video. This is a response to Blu Ray Evan's 600 subscriber contest. Congratulations, Evan, 600. Excellent number. On your way to more, I'm sure. This guy's got to be the most active guy on YouTube. This guy comments on videos I've never even seen before. I find these people, I say, oh, here's something new. I've never seen this guy before. Whose comment do I see there? Blu Ray Evans. He must know everybody. It's part of the reason he's got 600 subscribers. And well-deserving. What do I like about his channel? You know, Evan's got just a naturalness about him that I enjoy. I enjoy his excitement for Blu-rays. I enjoy his commitment to the community and his excitement about other people's videos. So his, to me, his channel is more than just his channel. It's really what I enjoy about Evan. And for me, Evan is someone who has long watched my videos, commented on them when maybe nobody else hardly ever did, and I've got my share. I'm not whining or ranting. But Evan's always there, even on stuff that, I had like a music one up, and I know he didn't even know who the person was, but he still commented. He's like, I don't know who this person is, but, it sounds interesting, that type of thing. And so I appreciate the time you put in, Evan, to making other people comfortable, making them feel like what they're doing is important. I guess that's your number 5 question. Number 1 question was, what's your favorite gangster film of all time? I think I'm going to go with The Godfather. It's a toss-up for me between The Godfather and Goodfellas. Goodfellas, to me, is exceptionally entertaining. You got Joe Pesci, you got De Niro, you've got Ray Liotta in a good role. There's a lot of and others in that movie. And Sorvino is in there, Paul Sorvino. You really, for a cast, it's hard to beat it. But then Goodfellas, but then The Godfather, you got Brando, Pacino, Khan, Duvall. Pretty good cast there too, and others. So, boy, really difficult to choose. I choose The Godfather over Goodfellas only because, for me, The Godfather epitomizes the formal mafia, if you will, or the formal gangster. And there's just sort of an epicness to The Godfather. Goodfellas, for me, is kind of a manic, just, year after year of just showing stuff. The Godfather takes place in a shorter period of time, but a lot of drama within that shorter period of time. So I'm going to pick The Godfather by, this much over Goodfellas. And tomorrow I might pick Goodfellas. I might watch both tomorrow and change my mind. So I'm going to go with The Godfather, with The Goodfellas as a very, very close second. Okay, second question was favorite superhero. Well, I got a few superheroes that I like, but let me answer it this way, Evan, and everybody else. When I was a kid, and I'm a kid, 12, 13, my favorite superhero was Spider-Man. That maybe still is. Because he was a kid with problems. He wasn't just some, guy. And I liked Superman, don't get me wrong. I like Superman. I own some Superman comics still. And one day I'll do a comic book overview for what I've got. But I started to and then abandoned it. But collector stuff might get me to do one. I like Superman. He's cool. But he's invincible practically. He comes from another planet, so and I do like that part of it, because he's not totally, he's not a human being. He's not an earthling anyway. He's a human being, but he's not an earthling. He doesn't, yet he conforms easily to our culture, which I really never understood that part. You think he'd be out of step more than he is. But anyway, point of the matter is, I like Superman. But Spider-Man was a kid with trouble, man. He was like any kid, When I was a kid, I thought, man, I could be Spider-Man. If I got bit by the right spider, your brain when you're young goes in weird directions. It goes in weird directions when you're older too, but particularly when you're younger. So Spider-Man was one of my favorites. You know, but I also liked some of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. But if I'm going to pick one superhero, it's going to be Spider-Man. It's going to be the same one I liked as a kid. And I still have a lot of Spider-Man comics upstairs in my movie room. They're kind of buried right now in the closet, but because I don't get them out as often. But I got some on my walls, and got a couple big posters, on boards, like stretched canvas, I guess you'd say, stretched canvas on boards, which I think I've shown. But one of these days I'll do that. One of these days I'll show off my superhero collection, including all that stuff. But it's for another day. Let's see. What other question did Evan ask? He asked, what was your favorite Blu-ray in your collection? That's tough. In fact, let me pause this movie, or this video, check DVD profile, which I can't do while I'm filming, and just kind of like take a quick look at everything. So I want to make sure I pick the right one. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I did get a chance to check it really quickly, and you know, it should have jumped out at me, and I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, but it's between two, and the two it's between are the Clint Eastwood 20-film Blu-ray collection, which is really sweet, and the Twilight Zone, the complete series on Blu-ray. And it really is a tough choice for me, because I love both of those quite a lot, but if I have to pick one, and Evan asked me to pick one, I'm going to pick the Twilight Zone Blu-ray collection. Lots of great extras on this thing. Interviews with Rod Serling, both on video, of course in black and white, and also audio from various colleges where he spoke about the Twilight Zone and about writing and about some other things. So I'm going to go with Twilight Zone on Blu-ray, all 5 seasons, with all the extras that are there, commentaries, and it really is a cool set. I highly recommend it. But you couldn't go wrong with that Clint Eastwood set either, that 20-film collection. So, again, a close one, too, in my opinion. But that is the answer to what is my favorite Blu-ray in my collection. Now, if you ask me DVD or Blu-ray, I don't know. We'd have to take a look. But for Blu-ray, I'm going to go with Twilight Zone. All right. And the fourth question. I'll be right back on that one. All right, I got these a little out of order. Question 3 should have been, I don't just think it matters what order they're in, but question 3 should have been, what made you start collecting Blu-rays and who inspired you to do it? Well, let me tell you a story. Story is, when did I start collecting digital CDs? I'm going to get to Blu-rays. There was something coming out on CD that I really wanted. And that something was the Bruce Springsteen. I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, have been for years, saw him in concert over the years, loved his early albums, loved his later albums. If I could meet one person and sit down and, you know, kind of shoot the shit and have a beer or two with, it would be Bruce Springsteen, probably, of the living people. Other than maybe my dad, who lives 6 hours away. I don't get to see him all that often, but of celebrity types, I'd pick Bruce Springsteen. I don't know what the hell I'd say to him, but you know, he's older than I am, but not by a ton, I guess. Well, by a number of years, but I'm in that general generation of Bruce Springsteen, I suppose. Maybe a generation less, but right around the same time frame, I guess. Anyway. He's just a cool guy. I like his music. He seems like he'd be down to earth. Just seems like somebody who'd be really neat. Anyway, big Bruce Springsteen fan. Going back to the CD, he had this box set coming out. Live was like 1975 to 1985 or something like that on CD. I think it was also coming out on album, possibly, but I really thought it was a cool looking CD set. And so that, I guess Bruce Springsteen inspired me to start buying CDs. I thought I'll move over to CDs, and when that comes out, I'll be ready. Flash forward. I would certainly had some DVDs, but I don't know if I was a big collector. I had certain sets that I liked, but I wouldn't say I was collecting DVDs necessarily. But once I moved into Blu-rays, not only was I collecting Blu-rays, but I was going back and collecting DVDs now. So what inspired me to first start buying Blu-rays, and that was the announcement that on Blu-ray was going to be the anniversary edition of Bruce Springsteen's Darkness on the Edge of Town. And this was going to be a 3 or 4 Blu-ray set with another 3 or 4 CDs. Don't have the numbers exactly right. I think it was 3 Blu-rays and 4 CDs, or 3 and 3. But the point of the matter was coming out on Blu-ray, and it was going to include a concert. It was going to include a making of video. It was going to include something that was sort of intriguing to me, which was they were going to have a live performance of the entire album without an audience present. So they were going to act like there was an audience there, but without the distractions of the crowd, but they were going to perform as if there might have been an audience there. I thought that's interesting. I didn't think it would be any good, but it turned out to be really good. Anyway, that's what started me down the path. Although that wasn't the first Blu-ray I bought, and I'll tell you the first Blu-ray I bought. I bought the Blu-ray player. This is irony for you. I bought the Blu-ray player for my wife for her birthday. And you've heard me talk about, my wife is very understanding, by the way. But she makes some good points on how much is spent on Blu-rays and DVDs and collecting. So I've got to listen to her, the one that makes sense. But she actually wanted a Blu-ray that was coming out. It was a Pink concert. And I enjoy Pink as well, by the way. I think it was Pink Live in Australia, I believe is the name of it. And then it just come out on the Blu-ray, and my wife really wanted it. And so I bought her that and a Blu-ray player for her birthday, and she loves it. To this day, she loves that video. And so I can always remind her. Of course, she curses me sometimes that I went down to my Blu-ray addiction and started out with that. But what really started me collecting Blu-rays, aside from buying, the Springsteen one, or looking forward to buying the Springsteen one, was coming to YouTube and watching guys like Cool Duder, who I think everybody knows, and then later on the Flick Channel and others who are very, very popular. Although, well, Cool Duder I think keeps it low key. He does his little. He did do his skits. He does his out and abouts, which are all cool. That's why it's Cool Duder. And then Wet Movie 1 and some others I watched. But I tend to gravitate more toward guys like Aaron Pin now and folks like that who are a little lower key than that. And there's other they don't do out and abouts, but they do them sparingly, I guess, more sparingly, and I enjoy that. Oh, and Joel, the Collector 1138, I think it is, and the Cinematologists, him and his 2 friends. Mainly, I think it's one friend that does that, but then the 3 of them do out and abouts at Barnes & Noble. And they got me interested in more collecting and making YouTube videos. So I'd say it was those guys. Well, I think I've answered all the questions, Evan. I know you've been interested in seeing my responses. I hope you enjoy it, and I wish you much success with your channel. I hope you keep watching mine and others. I look forward to reading your comments everywhere I go, and best of luck to you, and best of luck with whoever wins your contest. Thanks.